Greetings everyone. In this video we'll be looking at NCEA Level 1 Mathematics Common Assessment Task on Algebra. So some of the skills demonstrated in this video will be expanding double brackets using FOIL and grid methods. So we'll quickly look at FOIL method. So what that means is if I'm multiplying x times x, so that's the first terms for each of the two terms inside the brackets. So x times x gives you x squared, and then I'll multiply the terms outside, so x with 2, so x times 2 is positive 2x, and then I'll repeat the process with the terms inside, so 3 times x is positive 3x, and then the last terms, 3 times 2 is positive 6. Once I've done that, then I will quickly collect the like terms. So in this case 2x and x are like terms. I can add them and simplify. So the final answer is x squared plus 5x plus 6. Now repeating the process with the second example, so multiply the first two terms, so x times x is x squared, x times negative 2 in this case, so watch out for the negative sign there, so x times negative 2 is negative 2x, and then negative 3 times x is negative 3x, and then negative 3 times negative 2 is positive 6, and then you combine the like terms here, minus 2x and minus 3x, so it gives you x squared minus 5x plus 6. We'll do the same thing with the third example here, so x times x is x squared, x times negative 2 is negative 2x, positive 3 times x is positive 3x, and 3 times negative 2 is negative 6, and then collect the like terms together and simplify, so x squared plus x minus 6 is the final answer. Final example here, so x times x again is x squared, x times 2x is positive 2x, negative 3 times x is negative 3x, and negative 3 times 2 is negative 6, and then we can simplify that, so it gives you x squared minus x minus 6. So this is the FOIL method. Pretty easy to use. You can draw the arrows, and each time you draw the arrows, multiply them, and your final answer should be the one without any brackets. So the goal is to remove the brackets by multiplying everything inside the first bracket with everything inside the second bracket. We'll look at the second method using a grid. For some students, using a grid is easier because you can clearly see what you're calculating. Expand and simplify y plus 3 into y plus 5. So what you do is you create a grid, and your table will have 4 sections to fill in, and why 4? Because if I look at the total number of terms in these two expressions, so first bracket had 2 terms and the second one had 2 terms, so overall I will have 4 different sections there to fill in. Now using the first equation, I can put y as one of the sides plus 3, so y and positive 3 here, and then likewise I'll do the second one, y plus 5 for the second one. And basically what we are trying to do is we're finding the area of each of these rectangles using the dimensions in terms of y and a constant. So in this case here, y times y is y squared. This height here is y, so this value here is y because these lines are parallel here. So y times positive 3, we write numbers first, so it's positive 3y. Likewise we go 5 times y for this section here is 5y, it's positive 5y, and then 5 times 3 is 15, so it's positive 15. And then we look at the like terms. Like terms are highlighted in yellow because they are positive 3y and 5y here, so we can combine them. So y squared plus 3y plus 5y plus 15, and like terms can be added, so that simplifies to y squared plus 8y plus 15. So you could either use the FOIL method I showed earlier, or you can quickly draw up a grid and try and find the areas for each section, and then you can put them together. We'll look at another example, so I'd suggest if you can pause the video and try and fill in this grid yourself and see if your answer matches. So we've got 2a, so I'll write 2a, and the next term is -3, so watch out for this negative sign here, -3, and then the second bracket we have 5a and -2, and then finding the area of this one here is 5a times 2a, which is 10a squared, and then 5a times -3 is -15a. Likewise, -2 times 2a is -4a, and then -2 times -3, two negatives will multiply to a positive result, so +6, and then we'll put those together, so 10a squared minus 15a minus 4a plus 6, and then these two are the like terms. We can simplify those, so final answer 10a squared minus 19a plus 6. In your assessment you can use either of the two methods, so if you find the grid method easier you can stick to this one, or you can use the previous one, Coil method, to find the answer to the problem. We'll quickly look at the extension part to this. So if I've got 3 terms in the second bracket and 2 terms in the first bracket, still we can multiply using Coil method, or I can quickly draw a grid. So using the first bracket, I've got 3a and +2, and the second one had 3 terms, that's why I've got 3 rows here, 2a, +5b and 3. And then finding the area of the first section here, 2a times 3a is 6a squared, 2a times 2 is +4a, 5b times 3a is 15ab, and 5b times 2 is 10b, then 3 times 3a is 9a, and 3 times 2 is 6. And then we collect like terms together, so 6a squared plus 4a plus 15ab plus 10b plus 9a plus 6. So in this case we can see that 4a and 9a are like terms, so we can simplify them further. So 6a squared plus 13a plus 15ab plus 10b plus 6 is your final answer. Next one, we'll look at perfect squares. Perfect squares will always have 3 terms. So in general, if I go a plus b whole thing squared, what that means is it's repeated multiplication. So a plus b is multiplied by itself twice. Power of 2 means it's multiplied by itself twice. So if I go a plus b into a plus b, that will simplify into a squared plus 2ab plus b squared. Please be careful, there will be a middle term as well, so perfect squares will end up with 3 terms. Likewise, if I've got a minus b whole thing squared, it means a minus b is multiplied by itself, a minus b, and that simplifies to a squared minus 2ab plus b squared. Please be careful with it, minus b times minus b is plus b squared. So we'll have a look at another example. So expand and simplify. So if you're given y plus 3 squared, we know that it can be written as y plus 3 into y plus 3. And then using either Coil method or grid method, you can expand and simplify this. Y times y gives you y squared, and y times +3 is +3y, then +3 times y is +3y as well, and then 3 times 3 is +9, and then 3 y's are like terms. We can simplify it further, so that gives you y squared plus 6y plus 9. And we can also look at difference of 2 squares. In this case you'll only have 2 terms. So in general, a plus b into a minus b is simplified to a squared minus b squared. So minus in mathematics means difference, and then I've got the 2 square numbers here, hence the name difference of 2 squares. So a plus b into a minus b is same as a squared minus b squared. So in this case, it has only two terms, as the middle term cancels out. So we'll quickly have a look at another example. Says expand and simplify y plus 3 into y minus 3. So this is in that form, so y plus 3 into y minus 3. So I can use either FOIL method or grid method. So in this case, I'll stick to the FOIL method. So we'll multiply first terms together. So y times y is y squared, then y times negative 3 is negative 3y, positive 3 times y is plus 3y, watch out for the signs, and positive 3 times negative 3 is negative 9, and then you can see the middle term minus 3y plus 3y cancels out, because minus 3 plus 3 is 0, and you're left with y squared minus 9, and this here is same as a squared minus b squared, because 9 can be written as 3 squared, so y squared minus 3 squared. Hope you can see that. So we'll have a look at another example. It says expand. If the question says expand, you must always simplify that. So it in fact is asking to expand and simplify. So if you're given this question 2y plus 3 into 2y minus 3, so using either of the two methods, we can expand and simplify. So using the FOIL method, you can draw a grid if you like. So 2y times 2y is 4y squared. 2y times negative 3 is negative 6y. And then positive 3 times 2y is positive 6y. And positive 3 times negative 3 is negative 9, and you can clearly see that minus 6y plus 6y will cancel out, and it simplifies to 4y squared minus 9, and this is in that form a squared minus b squared, because 4y squared can be written into 2y whole thing squared, and 3 squared over here for 9. I'll also do the same thing using the grid method. You can quickly create the grid, so 2y plus 3 and 2y take away 3. Now using the grid method, you can clearly see 2y times 2y is 4y squared, 2y times 3 is positive 6y, negative 3 times 2y is negative 6y, and negative 3 times 3 is negative 9, and then putting those together, we end up with 4y squared minus 9, same result as before. So your choice, either of the two methods will give the same answer, but watch out for the negative numbers when you're simplifying them. In summary, there are different tricks that you can use. So I've shown you the grid method, and then we also looked at the FOIL method, multiplying those. Or if I'm using FOIL method, I can make that into a smiley face as well using these here, but make sure each of those terms are multiplied together. Or I can have a claw or a beak, right? When I'm using the FOIL method, it is similar to that. So just try and stick to one of the methods that you are comfortable with, but you always need to take extra care when you're dealing with negative numbers. Hope this helps. Thanks for watching. I'll see you guys in the next video.